Hi guys, hello, hello, hello. Welcome all the new subscribers, all the old subscribers, and if you're just watching or you somehow found your way to my channel, welcome, welcome, and welcome again. Thank you very much for stopping by. Today, we're going to be discussing a lot. Now, my name is Tessie, and on this channel, we discuss a lot of things, but today there's something that I want to talk about, and I've been debating talking about this, but I wasn't too sure if I wanted to because I don't really share much of my private life. So I said to myself, should I talk about this? But I said this could help a lot of people, so why not? So I've got my coffee here, guys. So if I were you, I would pause this video and get coffee because it's going to be a really lovely coffee chat. And as you can see, I'm casual today. I've got this lovely hoodie from Poland when I went last time because it's not every day wear dresses and skirts. Some days you just have to look casual. And also today I am wearing this really cute red lipstick. It's Giorgio Armani. It's really, really cute Giorgio Armani red lipstick. It's very, very nice. So yeah, I'm here to talk to you today about tech layoffs. So I was working. Now, I know I haven't really mentioned much about my actual job. So some of you guys may know that I run a business, but before I started my business, I was working at a tech company for 3 years. So it was like a tech startup for 3 years, essentially. And essentially, I was running an entire department on my own. Well, not on my own, but with someone. But essentially, I was like the head of a department that I was running. Or like, should we say the lead? So essentially, it was a very good role, very cushy, very comfortable. I was working from home. And unfortunately, my company lost like a really good contract and they basically had to just cut our entire department. Now, for a lot of people, I know in different countries like US, you can literally be made redundant on the day, or you can literally be laid off the same day. I think in the UK, it's a little bit different in that you can be laid off. Like, I think you're given notice. Now, in my circumstances, I was really fortunate because my COO, who I was on very good terms with, I was very close to, she came and told me a couple of months, like 4 months, that they had lost a big contract and that it was going to affect people. So she was like, just prepare yourself. Now, unbeknown to them, I had already started my business last year. I started my business last year, April. I've only been in business one and a half years. I've only been in business 1.5 years. So yeah, I started my business last year. So, working at the tech startup was really fantastic because I learned a lot. I did so many different roles when I was there. And it really taught me, how to like just do different roles, understand how a business is run. I worked very closely with my CEO and my COO, so it just helped me so much. So working at the 9 to 5 really helped me understand how to run a business. Now, my business hasn't been going for long. It's been about a year and a half, but it's been doing really well. So as soon as she told me that, I had started already. She didn't know that I'd already started, that actual job wasn't my only source of income. And I think that really is something that affects a lot of people. A lot of people, their only source of income is their job. So when they're made redundant, or when they're laid off, it's just completely life destroying because there's no other source of income coming in. And that's just so damaging. It's just so problematic. I was really fortunate in that because I had already started my business, when she told me, I wasn't worried because not only did she tell me a couple of months, she told me like 4 months. She said, we're probably looking to lay off most people at this time. And I was like, oh, okay. So I had already been given a heads up. So that made things a lot easier. Second of all, I had already been thinking about leaving the company because they were, it was a really fantastic company. I really enjoyed working there. I loved working there. And, they loved having me. They were so accommodating, sorry. They were so accommodating, but I felt like I'd reached the peak and that it was time for me to explore and branch out and see what other kind of, things were there for me. I was also thinking if my business was to continue to go the way it was, that I might end up doing it full time. So yeah, I was thinking a lot already about making a transition, and I was feeling quite, I remember having a discussion with my COO, and she was like, "You're playing it safe right now, you're too comfortable." And definitely the layoff was sad, but it did force me to come out of my comfort zone. Obviously because I've been there for a couple of years, it did force me to come out of my comfort zone a lot. Now the last day, I felt sad, but because I knew it was coming, I had time to prepare myself. But then it hit me on the actual last day. Oh my God, just saying goodbye to like my coworkers, and also the fact that I literally work with one of my bestest friends in the whole world. We work in the same company, so that was sad because I loved working with them and just chatting with them every day. So saying goodbye to them was sad. Well, obviously not saying goodbye to them, but just not working with them again, because it's fun to work with your best friend, right? Or with one of your best friends. But it was really interesting how my job was replaced by AI, essentially. So I was one of those remote workers who were not only was our department downsized, everything was shifted. A lot of people's positions were shifted to one AI, like one machine. That was it. So yeah, I consider myself fortunate because I already knew in advance quite a while. I was pretty prepared, I would say, because I had already started my business like a year and a half ago. I'd already started my business. And the business had been doing really well. It's been bringing in extra income. Recently, I had increased my prices because of inflation. And I actually got a new client recently who was able to pay that new price. So because of that, I wasn't too worried because I knew even though it was going to happen, I was still going to have income coming in. Plus, I was fortunate enough to have a pretty decent savings, like pretty decent nest egg. And as soon as I was definitely sure things was going to happen. When it actually happened, so this redundancy happened like, I want to say a while ago, like maybe 2 weeks, like the actual redundancy itself. But remember, guys, I've known about it for like 4 months already. So when it actually happened, I just paid the rest of my entire lease off upfront because I didn't want to worry about it. I just didn't want to worry about it. I think that's another thing that really frustrates people when they get laid off or they get made redundant. They start thinking about how they're going to like pay the bills, pay the rent. Because you don't know when you're going to find another job at that level or higher. It's going to take a while. Look, the hiring market is rubbish. It's silly. It's silly. Like the job market is silly. Lovely. The job market is silly. The job market is not making sense right now. The job market is discombobulated. That's the only way to describe it. Flabbergasted. I don't even know why I'm laughing, but I guess I'm laughing because it's true. The job market is messed up. So yeah, I was really fortunate in that I had that decent sized nest egg. And with G, if you guys don't know who G is, maybe you've not watched my videos. G's my fiance. He's my partner and he's my best friend. That's the only way to put it. He was really supportive of me and he was like, don't worry, I'm going to be here for you. And so in a way, it helped us to like talk more about what we're planning for the future, contingencies and stuff like that. And yeah, things like my nail appointments, going to the salon, food, transportation, even stuff like dental care. He takes care of that for me now until I decide, where I'm going to go. But in the meantime, it's really awesome because, well, I wouldn't say it's awesome. Would I say it's awesome? I would say it's interesting because I'm in this weird place between working and not working. So I'm not currently employed by anyone, but I still have a business that makes income. It's strange. I don't know if you guys understand what I mean by that. I'm not currently employed by anyone, but I'm self-employed. Now I like the idea of working at a 9 to 5 and having my own business. I love doing both. I am someone that I really learn a lot when I'm at a 9 to 5, and I don't know why people knock 9 to 5s. They're really good. I learned how to run my entire business from a 9 to 5. Like, they're really, really good. They teach you so much. You learn how to deal with people. You learn how to sell yourself, your services, everything. So, I'm in this weird place now where I feel like I'm working but not working. The business is doing great, but I feel like I would have to be in business successfully for at least 3 years before I went full time with it. And I'm only a year and a half. So I started my business in April 2022. So yeah, I don't feel like I'm in that place where I'm confident enough to take it full time. But it's doing really well. I definitely would be much less comfortable without my business. Let me put it that way. But yeah, I feel that a lot of people, they struggle a lot when it comes to layoffs because I don't know what it is about being made redundant or being laid off, but when you are made redundant or when you're laid off, there are just so many things that happen at the same time to annoy you. And you're just thinking, why is this happening now? Why is this happening now? I'll give you an example. Me and G, we just came back from the dentist because we are traveling to Poland in a couple of days. Literally, guys, in a matter of days, we're traveling to Poland. And I had an appointment with a dentist to get my teeth looked at. All of a sudden, like 2 days ago, my teeth started, like my root canal area, because I got a root canal done like 4 years ago. It started hurting really badly. So today we just went to like a private dentist because I'm not waiting for any NHS nonsense. Sorry, the NHS is just too stressful. So we rushed over to a private dentist today, and oh my gosh, my root canal is dying. My root canal is dying. My root canal is dying. Did you hear what I said? My root canal is dying. It's dying. And it's really sad because when I got this root canal done, the lady said, and I don't know if I can show you guys. Yeah, that silver thing there, that's my root canal. The dentist said that it could last up to 10 years. It's not even been 5 years. It's not even been 5 years. Where's the other 5 years? Where's the other 5 years of my root canal? Where did the other 5 years of my root canal go? Where is it gone? I'm so frustrated. So I'm laughing right now, but I'm really not happy. I'm not happy at all. I was really unhappy because they were like, you've got two choices. You can either get your root canal rerouted or you can just have the entire tooth taken out. And then I'll have a tooth missing at the age of 27. So yeah, now essentially we are looking at reroot treatment. So that is where they take out the root canal, clean it, do all the stuff that they need to do, and then do another root canal again. God knows how long that's going to last. So we're hoping that we can do that in Poland. But God knows. So things like that, they'll just happen at a time where you're just thinking, I don't need this stuff to happen right now. Like, why are you happening right now? Why can't you happen later? Why can't you happen before? I would say I'm in a very fortunate position in that my rent is paid to the end of my lease, which is like good 6 months away. So that is entirely paid up front, and on top of that, the fact that G is pretty much taking care of a lot of things for me. It means that, I'm fortunate in that I've decided to take 2 weeks off and close my business for 2 weeks because I just needed a break. I needed a break. I've literally been working nonstop for like a good 3 years. I mean, when I mean working nonstop, I mean like I've been doing so many different things. Plus, I was doing my master's course, doing a master's degree. That was tough as well. So I just said, do you know what? I need a break. So I've taken 2 weeks off, closed the business. I'm just not going to do anything. I'm just going to enjoy Poland, relax, So definitely, even though the redundancy was like really sad, because I knew about it, it gave me time to process it emotionally and then see it as kind of like giving myself that little break that I really deserve, because I actually needed that break. You never realize how much you need a break until you're forced to take one. So yeah, don't ever get to the stage where you're like forced to take a break. Take a break before take a break before then, if you can. And yeah, it's just I feel like a lot of people, especially in like if you're in places where they don't have rights, good employment rights, redundancies can be so painful. They can obviously as well be like a good way to just move out into another industry. Like if you get a redundancy package, you can just move out into another industry. So for all those people who've been writing silly comments like, oh, you're living above your means, no, I'm not. I'm very extremely comfortable and very well catered and cared for, even though I'm currently not employed and I'm employing myself. I'm still very well cared for, so don't worry about it. I'm good. One thing I will say that was really fortunate was that I finished paying off my house before the redundancy talk came up, because if I hadn't, I would have been stressed thinking about, oh my God, how am I going to make the payments on my house? Because I was paying 700 to 800 pounds every month on just paying my property off. And that was on top of like paying rent for my apartment. So you can imagine the housing costs I was paying every month was nuts. So yeah, that would have been really stressful. That would have been stressful if I didn't. That's why I was hustling so hard to pay that house off in 2 years, because I didn't want that kind of stress on myself, because it's not good. It's not good. So yeah, I'm definitely glad that was sorted. But, I just wanted to talk a little bit about my experience, because my experience is a bit unique in that I wasn't fully, so even though I'm not employed by a company anymore, there's still income coming in. I'm not like, and the income coming in is regular. So it's been like that for about a year and a half. So it's like, so it's regular, but it's not regular enough. It's not enough to replace what I've lost, but at the same time, it's still regular enough to like keep me comfortable. It's hard to explain. I don't know. If you understand, if you know, you know, if you know, you know. So yeah, definitely it's been a lot, but I thank God things have still been going well. Things have still been going good. And this is a very good chance for me to, I think, figure out if I want to take the business full time or if I just want to continue looking for another 9 to 5 and continue perfecting and learning my business, perfecting what I learned there and transferring the knowledge over into my business. Because it took me a long time, guys, to get to a place where I was actually making money with a business and actually, I tried to like start a business like a couple of times in the past and it didn't work out very well. So this was the first time I ever started a business that was actually like successful, and that was actually doing well. So yeah, if you've been laid off or if you've experienced, if not just in the tech industry, right? If you've been laid off, and my company was a real estate and tech company. They were also into artificial intelligence as well. If you've been laid off, please drop your experience below. I'd love to hear about it, how you managed it, how you dealt with it. My situation is a bit strange, in that it was kind of a sad thing, but kind of a good thing, but kind of a sad thing. I don't know if that makes sense. It probably doesn't. But yeah, if you've been laid off or if you had redundancies, drop your experience down below. I'd love to hear from you guys. I'd love to hear more, because some of these companies, they're messing around and it affects you, so let's talk about it more and let's have that conversation and let's see what's going on with other people's circumstances and how they're dealing with it, especially with this nuts inflation. So yeah, Thank you guys for watching. I appreciate you watching. This was actually not even easy for me to talk about because I'm actually, even though I talk about, I talk about Black women's topics, for me and my actual self, I'm pretty private, I would say. So yeah, I appreciate you guys watching, and I hope that this video gets you guys talking more about, your own experiences with the redundancies or layoffs. Guys, layoffs, I feel like they're not always a bad thing. I feel like they're a bad thing. It depends on the situation. I feel like they're not always a bad thing. Sometimes they're a bad thing, sometimes they're not. Sometimes they can push you to leave if you're already when you're thinking about leaving, and sometimes they can be utterly devastating, It's not the first time that this has happened, so it's like that's another thing, that's another factor. Because it's not the first time it's happened, it's like, okay, But if it's the first time something like that happens, then I can imagine it would be kind of devastating. So yeah. So that's it, guys. That's all I had to say. Thank you very much for watching. And yeah, I'll see you whenever I see you. Yeah, I don't know when that is, but I will see you. Okay, bye.